I think I'm on. Good evening. How are you? Okay, a lot to cover tonight. Clearing, clearing. We use that sense of it in common language. Let's clear the air. Let's start off with a clean slate. Somebody's hanging on to something, we say, oh, let it go, and on and on and on. So we have in our languaging, we refer to it, but I would like to go into much more depth with those words. Okay, so some that were coming to me as I was mulling on this were easy, breathe, hush, settle, open, allow. Okay, again, these are clearing related words. Trust. Again, if you're hanging on to something, let go of it. Let go of it. Okay? We want to get into the experience of these words. So at first, they're ideas, which I put up here someplace, let's say. Okay. So we have a bunch of ideas. Can you see the green ideas about this? But really, we have to experience. I want to bring it down more, a little bit more present into the experience of these things. So let's do something. Let's do something with clearing. Okay, let me try a pattern. I'm checking out what it is here. Okay, standing, be all right? Okay. Yeah. Settling, opening. Okay. Again, not an idea now, or as soon as possible. Yeah, I just gave you the idea. And it translates, its partner, if you would, is the experience of that. Not the continuing mind aware, eye aware of that. There's a second part that's critical, the experience of it. So settling, opening, a couple of words that some people might use at the beginning of clearing, okay? Let's try the using calm as a trick, if you would. Not I'm nervous, I'm calm. I don't mean that calm. I mean calmness. Okay, so it's a little bit different. Calm down a bit. Brings you down lower and brings you to a quieter place. Okay. Again, calm, calmness, settling, opening. The air here is a little bit different. Okay. First hint at clearing, maybe, we'll see. So to get through the heavier of energies, if you would, remember those energies that pushed you, or the energies we play with that go through the body for our techniques. I want to go into a little finer. So finer energies we're calling qualities, so we're heading that way. So calmness is a trick to get through the heavier of energies into clear, where soon the qualities have room to show in their truer nature. Okay. And again, one more easy. Settling, calmness, calmness, calmness. Easy. words there. Open right there. Clear. Clear. Now, if my head is chattering too much, I know I'm not quite ready yet. So in this calmness to this presence and clear is there. One way to pick it up is there's less chatter, or you're not even aware of the chatter after a bit. Okay. Right, let's take a moment. Okay, so calm has a travel vehicle trick, calmness. Okay, not to be confused with I'm nervous, I'm calm. That's a different level of it. I'm not talking about that. When the bullets were flying at OSensei, couldn't quite figure it out at that moment. He said he went calm. He went into calmness. At his level, brought him to a much finer dimension. The dimension mixed up some qualities, which mixed up a better character who could deal with bullets. Did you catch the story? Okay. So he wasn't nervous, and I got to get calm. The bullets are flying at me. Calmness. To a very deep degree, inferring deeper and deeper, it's going through finer dimensions. And eventually there's a base or an opening, at which time the energies at this level, we're calling them qualities, can mix up a different character. The Ueshiba, who can dodge bullets. Okay, right? Calm. Calm. Okay. All the other words, settling, that's to help move you from the idea of all of this, settle, 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 trying to get more into the actual experience of it. So, of course, you start here, okay, but then you quickly, instantly go to the experience of it, okay, right? I tried to show that to you many times as one of my simple standards. My idea would like to stand better. That feeds down to the actual, which activates, and boom, energies are starting to come up to support me standing up, to make me stronger standing up, fuller standing up, whatever they want to do at that moment. Okay, so that sense of things is still going on. So now you think about words like settle and easy and hush, quiet down. But they're bringing you to a place of experience, all right? Very important distinction, okay? All right. If the clearing, let me stand in here. If the clearing, so settle, whatever, and it's clearer, again, not as an idea, that idea of clearing has to be translated or realized, that's better, realize that it's a sense experience of clear, okay? The clearing after a bit should get like fuller, like including your back, including this part under here, not just an upper half forward clearing. Easy. So whatever words you like, I give you a few examples, but find your own. Settle or easy or calmness to a deeper level. And then at that level, experiencing clear. Things are clearer. Okay. If we can get a good enough clear, again, I'll sit, it infers you're at a better level or a better dimensional level. Okay. Dimensions get finer and finer and finer and finer and finer. The one that we're in the human condition is kind of thick and heavy. When we settle and go deeper and open, we're moving it to finer and finer dimensions. Okay, so it's always the same pattern. Pattern is kind of basically simple. We just sometimes do a different align to something and follow the pattern, and we bring in something else and follow the pattern. But it's still the same pattern. When the universe created itself, it created a pattern. It doesn't deviate from that pattern. Okay. Oh, Sensei talked a lot about the heavenlies. Heavenlies, in his terminology, was that level before the creation that set up the creation. So from that place he called heavenlies, then started the creation and had certain patterns to it. Okay. So we'll always try to follow the patterns and explain the patterns. Okay. Now, I wonder if we should, this sense of clearing, so that the energies, again here, qualities, the qualities can mix up a little better character, you, okay? We can do an open mic if this question catches your attention, something that happened in your past where you're in a situation and you did something akin to what I'm talking about as settling, clearing. And because you did something then, whatever word you want to put to it, but something akin to that, suddenly you reacted properly. You did something you never would have thought of doing normally. Things just worked out pretty damn good. Okay? You must have had some experience. Can we do an open mic on that and keep it short and sweet because time allotted? Somebody want to jump in here? An actual happening?
Sensei Bob Leichner.
Yes.
I was a member of a medical emergency response team, mostly drills, occasionally something real. Going into a situation, I learned I had to stop, take a couple of breaths, settle, and then I could go into the situation and be present to it, not be caught up in my emotion, in my anxieties, and whatever. Those breaths were critical.
Yeah. Yeah. So what happened? You say, there we are. That's the clearing time. That's in reference to the clearing time. So I mentioned that one here as one of the many words, easy, hush, settle, breathe. Yeah, I mentioned that one, breathing. So whichever words or words that you come up with that do that job for you, we'll put them in the clearing category. When we clear, we're at a better level. The energies mix up better. Today we're on qualities. The qualities, finer level of energies, mix up better, mix up a better character you, okay? So Robert was more efficient, less emotional about whatever, the blood that's flowing around wherever he was at. Yes, anybody else?
Can I speak? This is Mary.
Yeah, go.
Oh, well, I had an experience many years ago. I received a phone call from a friend who was suicidal. I felt things were very bad, and I raced over to his house, walked in, sat down, and then had the experience of the word settle that you used was what I did. I settled, and I just relaxed my belly, opened my chest, and just let everything fall and drop and became just very quiet. And then I could listen to anything that he had to say without a kind of judgment or reaction to it, and it just let him speak.
A real feeling for what he's saying, a depth of understanding that was beyond your norm. Yours is
Yeah.
good, but it's probably even beyond your norm.
Yeah.
Did you notice how Mary used about 4 words there? I forgot them all, but she settled, she opened. Mary,
Yeah.
you still on? Could you remind me again
Yeah.
a couple more words?
Yeah. I settled, I softened, I opened, and um, and and the title of your teaching tonight, the clearing, I felt at that moment that clarity was present, but
Yeah.
just a sense of being, not a sense of trying to do for or take charge or anything, but just to be present.
Yeah.
It was, yeah, I hadn't really done that to that degree before that moment.
Nice story, Mary. Thank you. And by the way, I had that word presence on. I was going to throw that in as part of my first basic. I wrote it down here. Presence. I know you're here. Presence. Anyway, let me. Any others before I stand up again? We stand up again. Anybody else? So far, so good.
If you want one.
Yeah.
Yeah. This was many years ago. I had a girlfriend who was had cancer, Hodgkin's stage 4, and she, I don't know, sort of had some sort of seizure, was unable to stand, and I had no idea what to do. She didn't want me to call an ambulance. She didn't want to be, resuscitated. So I just sat next to her, and I just thought, knowing that there was nothing I could do, I just kept saying to myself, well, if there's anything I could do, I would do it. And I wasn't even worried or afraid. I was just trying to kind of be there and trying to hear, maybe, some idea would come to me. And I felt this moment that my energy body split in half, and half of it went to her, and she opened her eyes, and she was able to get up.
Yeah.
And she said she felt a similar thing,
Yeah. I would say at a finer level of energy, it's like a good Aikido, where your energy body and your partner's energy body start to share. That's a fairly good level. In Aikido, it's not OSensei great, but it's damn good. Instead of having your partner, there's the attacker over there starts to be a sharing. And the one you mentioned is where you feel actually the energy body sharing with that energy body. So we kind of do it in a martial art way, but that's cool. Your story, very cool. Also, I like the way you use that. Well, I don't know what to do. Is that what you said?
Yeah, I had no idea.
I don't have any idea what to do. It's a type of letting go, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I wasn't thinking, I wasn't imagining that I was going to figure something out, or
Yeah.
somebody was going to come along, I was just,
Yeah. So we let go of all those, and those would be normal human things. So let me figure this out. Let me think what to do, and go on and on and on with all this stuff. And you did this. I like the way you worded that I can't do anything. So you let it all go till you got to a certain level, and this started to naturally happen. Cool.
yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
I didn't even I didn't have a thought that it would happen, and then it happened.
Yeah.
I felt it happen.
Yeah. No, we don't have to do these things knowing what the result is. I just do them because they're there to be done. And then if there is a result, it's a gift, frosting on the cake, I would call it. Yeah. And that also is trusting the system. Kind of a Christian of myself, I am nothing. Don't know if I'm phrasing it right. But as I let go, I trust the system to, using my words, mix up a better character who is more in harmony with the situation naturally. And at that level, things will happen at that level. As I get to a better level, it aligns with the situation better, and things will happen better at that level. And I just trust the system. So that's part of what we're trying to do tonight, is trust the system. So I want to add that word presence that Mary mentioned, because I had notes down on it. So one more time, standing. Settling, calmness down. It touches a certain deeper point. There is presence. It's not a word, that's an sense experience. Presence is experiencing itself. And related to that presence is clear. So I don't quite know how to word it now, but like you get this field of presence, and then through that field, the words are funny, through that field, presence. Okay? So this clear presence, self, truer self, they're all pretty damn close. They overlay so well, hard to tell one from the other for a little while. But presence is one of the words that I would use along with this clearing, along with truer self is there. We won't highlight that piece tonight, but it's there, okay? So presence, different than, oh yes, I am present. Presence is a sensed experience of itself as presence, okay? So you've got to practice a little bit to move from, oh yes, I understand that word. I look around, I see the lights, I'm present, okay? To presence, okay? Okay, I understand that word. To the experience of presence. I think I'm beginning to feel myself more present. We're not finished yet. Presence itself as its own, I don't know what word, entity. Unto itself, it is present as presence. So there's a few steps in practice that I do, okay? In the human condition, we're too fast. I know that word, I got it. Next, sensei, do something else. I know there's click, 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 click. Get the real fullness, actual of it, okay? So presence is a good word. Okay. So clearing so that the energies, OSensei story, I know you like OSensei stories. I'm not sure when this happened. My guess says 42 Iwama. That's my guess. One day, suddenly, he couldn't remember any of his techniques. He was blank. Okay. I consider that a clearing. It's so clear. Now, a normal human's reaction would be, oh my God, where's my notebook? I better call my training partner and have them remind me what techniques I know, and get all freaky there. But this is OSensei. So he was in an OSensei fashion, okay with not knowing any of his techniques. And as a period of time passed, I don't know how long, a day, 2 days, I don't know. Then all of his techniques were back, but done at a whole different level in a whole different way. So it was a major step, a major development in his case. So he didn't freak out when the slate got erased or cleared. Okay. He hung out there till the next assembly assembled, whole different level. There were the techniques, but looked at, done, affecting in a whole different manner than prior to that. Okay. If I'm just making this up now, if that was in the early 40s, that might have been one of the main things, because they talk about OSensei's pre-war Aikido as being very different than its after the war Aikido. So that might have been part of that changing. Yeah, I would put money on that. Good guess, Nadeau. Okay, where are we? Clear qualities. OSensei, again, continue with OSensei stories. OSensei had to clear, he told me that this story he told about the local thugs beating his father up, and he was there, just a little kid, but he was there. And he said that he was, of course, affected by that. And one way he was affected, because this is a bad scene, right? They're stomping on daddy, was the world is bad. Okay. The other thing he grabbed onto was, because he couldn't help his father, he's only a little kid, was I am weak. Okay, so the world is bad, I am weak. Now here's two potential obstructions. So he had to clear from those to realize and experience the universe is harmonious and caring and all that stuff. And to realize that he, as a character, was quite strong in this setup. He wasn't weak, but he said he had to deal with them. They were there. They had infringed on his system. They were existing in his system. He had to clear from those to be able to move along and have the truth of how the universe works show and experience. Okay, I think that's a good story for what we're talking about. Clearing. So do you have the sense of this? The more we can clear, the finer level we're at, where the energies, qualities, in this case we're highlighting, will mix up a better character. That thing, I'm checking with my audience. Yeah, you like that? Okay. Okay. So clearing, letting go, settle. Trying to get you a bit lower here. Settle. Open up. Breathing helps some people. So breathe into, towards. Breathe, breathe. You're getting closer to a clearing place. Not good enough? Continue your breath practice. As that gets more balanced, you're into a finer dimension where the clear can show. Okay? Now, qualities. How should we approach that? Let me talk about them for a moment, checking my words here. The qualities is sort of my word. Again, you find your own word. But finer dimension, finer vibration rate of energies. I say qualities, but there's something wafting around. Okay. After a bit, it wafts around through you and around. Okay. So it's not just something out there around there. You're part and parcel of this. Okay. At first, as we play with this, there might be a beginning sense of what it might be. You get this mental sense, which is how things work. As it begins to be present, bing, and you have a sense of it. Don't be so fast on that. My trick is to so noted, but then I continue with letting it more and more. So the experience, the actual involvement blend, the actual blend with it is better. Okay, so watch out for bouncing up into an idea about it too fast. Or if you do that, come on back down for the experience. Okay? Give it time to show itself more and more and more. While I was mulling on this, dumb story that came to me was there's a hot tub here. And you see the steam, gives you some inclusion. You put one foot in this hot tub and then you pull it out. Then you go write a paper about taking a hot tub. I think you jumped the gun. I think if you're going to write a paper about the hot tub, you need more than just put your foot in it and pull your foot out. You got to go deeper into it. You got to sit in it. You got to soak in it and hang out with it and see all the different effects that go on. Okay, that's what we're trying to do here. What I'm trying to get you to do is more of this soaking. So watch out when it first begins to show, make in whatever form, make itself known, that you don't bing. Don't spend time there. It might happen. I instantly come back again to the experience. Okay. So again, might be a color for some people. It might be a texture. I called Elaine because she was interested in qualities, and she threw out the word element. Whatever words that you like. But in some form, it's going to show yourself. Maybe you'll hear the harmonics of it, and that vibration means something to you. So you'll have to learn how, in certain cases, to interpret what it is and what it's saying. So let's say it's a color, red, and it's showing as red. I can make up stories about red, but I don't want to go back to an eye and make up stories. What the hell do I know? What does Bobby know? Come on, easy. So I hang out with it. I soak in it a bit, a sense feeling of it, and then say, okay, I see you're very red. Could I feel better your essence? Make up your own words there. Could I feel what you really are, or what you're really saying? And suddenly there, I'm starting to get a sense of strength. I'm getting a strong heart, kind of a warrior strong heart. So I just practice dialoguing with things. If it shows as an element, I would do this. Well, fire's an element. We could red, and I did red. Okay, fire's an element. Oh my God, I'm sitting in fire, and I would sit there and hang out. At first, not comfortable, it's a little strange one at first, maybe. But knowing the tricks, this is all beautiful stuff. If you settle into a finer, it'll show that it's nice stuff. Okay. And then if you don't understand what it is, it's an intelligence. You can talk to it. Just learn how to talk to it. So I ask it questions. Hey, fire, what are you about? What are you good for? Hang on, I'm on fire. And I'm hearing something like, I cleanse out stupidity, something like that. Oh, okay. Oh, a purifier. Oh, okay. And I hang out with and sense, feel that. I don't suddenly become an intellectual up here with those words. Experience, experience, experience. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. Oh, and I sense, feel, sense, experience that purifying. Okay. Then I might continue and say, well, what else are you noted for? Find your own words. What else can you do? Why should I soak in you? You know, what's your benefit? Find your own words. And then softly sensing, not listening, you're not going to hear it in your ear per se, but you're going to hear it. You're going to sense, hear it. You're going to sense, feel what it's saying. So I'll continue with that one for a moment. Fire. What else can you do? Again, that's strong. I feel strong, boom, of strength, courage. Courage is a good word. I seem to jingle on that word, courage. I don't know if I'm strong, but I got a lot of courage. Okay. And what else? Something like, if you can pass through me, there's something really wow waiting for you. So a certain sense, maybe the Phoenix does that? No? But did it not die somehow? Did it fire die?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Phoenix
Okay.
dies in
So
the fire.
the Phoenix thing, then you go down to ashes, sense experience, and it's saying, and then something is there. Okay. At which time I say, oh my God, this is just like the Phoenix story, round and round and round. Don't go there. Okay, fine. So noted. Continue with the experience of it and see who rises out of the ashes. Because who rises, I can guarantee you, is going to be one hell of a better mix to you. Okay? So how to communicate, how to talk, and we can go around on that again another day. Communication with the intelligence of creation. Everything is intelligent. That's why they can talk to horses and dogs, and that's how that happens. Everything's intelligent and in some form can talk about itself. Okay. So in my dog days, I was a dog talker. People in my dog club would call me when they were having trouble with their dog. And I'd sit, we'd have a conversation, and dogs would tell me why they were getting pissy or what their problem was. It was kind of fun for that period of time. Anyway, so because the whole universe is intelligent, all right, should it make these things that hard? If it's an empty, dumb nothing, then of course, how are you going to talk to it? You have to make up stories. But it itself is intelligent. It itself will explain itself and explain itself more clearly. This is cool. I love that stuff. I would like to teach more people one day, if I had time, to research with using this form. That's why Brad's here. He's a future researcher. That's up his field a bit. Anyway, so qualities. So let's take another moment to clear. Standing. We have more than one quality, but to make this easy for you, and we did this once before, but we had it open and cleared and allowed as much as I want you to do today. So because of this, all calm, settling, open, clear. The better the sense of clear is, not the idea of it, the sense feeling. I don't mean feeling, it's sense feeling okay, of clearing. Makes a lot of room for the quality. We're asking for one at first. The quality that is like, say, natural for your system. You've experienced it before. Don't start thinking here. Where when it was there, you felt good and you really liked it. You liked you liked everything around you. It was your quality, and it was heavy duty that day. Okay. So that's the quality I want. The one that is like your preferred one. I'm not asking you to think about what your preferred one is. Don't go there. You understand this guy, don't you? Don't go there. It itself will show. So you ready? Settling, calm, deeper, easy, opening, clear, clear, clear. And we're calling up the quality that your system likes. You like it, let it, let it, let it. At first, you might just get a little twinge of it. Don't go off spinning around in your head. Back to opening and allowing more, the quality. I sometimes call this slurping. I kind of slurp it into my system. I invite it into my system. I want to partake of it. That helps it mix fuller and better. So I invite, I allow, I play the game. There is a quality here. And as I open and say, come on, it shows itself more and more and more. Maybe we should do an open mic for a moment. early in the game, but let's see if there's an early sense of the quality for you. Open mic, somebody? What's your sense of it? What's your first sense? Go.
My initial quality is optimism.
Okay. Okay. Somebody? Is there a few? If I don't hear anything, I think you didn't catch this. We got to go back to settling and opening and clearing. So equality will show. So help me out here.
I
Anything?
tried vastness.
Brad is radiating. Something that radiates present. And then I'd ask you later, what's it radiating? What if somebody were looking at you, what would they see? Kind of thing. So it radiates, okay, but what is it radiating? So I like to ask people to, I don't know the word tighten up, I don't mean that. Get into it a little bit more. Yeah. Somebody? Yeah.
Yeah, the word that came up for me was vastness, V-A-S-T, vastness.
Oh, vastness. Okay. Yeah. Very good one if they put you in jail.
Oh, God.
Yeah, but a person, you see, again, just making this up, but my first sense would be a person with that sense of vastness wouldn't feel hemmed in by a lot of nonsense. Okay. Where other people are feeling hemmed in, this person would feel more, nah, there's some openings around. There's different ways of approaching things, or in Aikido, different ways of moving, you know. So yeah, somebody? Quality.
Sensei,
That's my word, your word. Go ahead.
This is Dave from Chicago. The word that came
Hi.
up for me was consistency and organized. It felt,
Right.
yeah.
Consistent. Yeah, I'm not sure if you hit me with two of them there. I'm not sure. It's something I'll bring up after a couple of minutes. But it's consistent and it's organized. That's why I'm wondering if two qualities got to you there. I don't know, and it's no big deal. Whatever you want to do with that. Organized consistency. Okay.
Sensei, it's Andreas.
That person, hey, hang on, Andreas. That person who's organized, I'm sure, would find it easy to clean his desk. Okay, so that's why I beg that energy not to come at me. Thank you. Andreas, what?
Yeah, it feels like it's the breath, it's the expansion and the reduction of the lungs as it feels like it's as I take each breath, it makes me, it gives me to center the up and down. I do believe we should have spent more time in up and down than qualities, but I think that's the side effect of the breath, of this inclusion and then letting everything out. And I'm outside in my patio and I can feel it and I can feel, I don't know if you can hear it, but like when the wind blows, it feels like the trees are breathing.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, also that beat is a very important beat in the universal creation. So there's another use for that beat that we'll cover clearer one day. So he's picking it up as a quality, find your own word. And I'm also mentioning that that's big time. That beat is big time because it's how the creation created. Anyway, another day on that. Somebody, anybody else? You got a minute?
This is Gina.
Yeah. Hi, Gina.
I got butterflies like I was going to perform and a big grin on my face. I got so excited. All of a sudden I was grinning.
Yeah. Okay. Butterflies. No wonder you like to be on stage.
Yes.
And when you are on or thinking about going on or whatever, boom, there's that quality.
Always. Right there.
Can you break it down for me though? What's the, okay, they feel like butterflies moving, They look like butterflies. What's their, using my word quality, what's their quality, or whatever word is right for you? Can you get a little
Happy.
more
Happy?
joyful? Okay, happy.
Very
Okay.
happy.
Happy is here, and the happy butterflies out of that fly along and go up to the audience. Okay. All right. Joy, happy. Okay, cool. Yeah. And you could feel her light up when she was talking about that her voice was joyful. She was happy. You could hear it. You could feel it, for God's sake, even though she's in Hawaii. Yeah. Okay. Let's take a break on that. We'll have at the end, if you have any questions and stuff, we'll take a minute break at the end. We're not there yet. We'll take a minute break at the end. And then if you have any questions, we can go over stuff. Let me check and see. Examples of clearing to remix. I don't know if this fits in, but I'll give it a shot. A guy came up to me once, and he said he was he worked with the big cats, lions, and that he was starting to get afraid of them, and they were getting pissy back at him, and he was starting to. And he said, what's going on here? And my feeling was that he was trying to be a commanding human being to command those animals. You could almost see a guy with a hat and a whip and those pants they wear, poof, kind of thing. And that was pissing the cats off, his demeanor, his vibe. And my sense was if he would trade that in and clear, that it would mix up somebody who vibrated with the cats, who had a similar vibration, who had more, there's a word, a feeling for
Empathy.
Empathy, there's the word. That there'd be this relationship where he wouldn't look like a threatening human with his whip or whatever. That if he had that, things would be different, and then we'd see how he would do with the big cats. What other dumb stories? I mentioned to Alan last week, because I heard he wanted to go to acting classes or something. I thought that's cool. And I gave him a trick. My sense of acting is that if you're a character and you're a character, I'm an actor, and you've established a character, and you try to get the character of the movie or play, whatever, to come into play, you're sort of in the way because you're too heavy a previous character. Am I saying this right? Okay. I've said this before in my dumb way. It's hard to get pregnant if you're pregnant. No, you still don't understand that. If you're too heavy with who you think you are, very hard to clear to be who you could become. Very hard when you've got that character. That's what we're trying to clear is whoever you think you are right now. We're trying to clear that one so that you have access to a remix with all these beautiful qualities that'll make you happier and more logical and more efficient and braver and whatever. All these are available. Okay? I think I said something intelligent in there. Even Katya sort of nodded. If Katya nods, I'm okay. Somebody want to say something? Good, right? Let me see. I'm just trying to see if there's any other stories I want to throw. Okay, so the actor, to me, a great actor is somebody who can clear and do such a good job of it that the character he needs to be, he's read the script, he's got a sense. but he clears, and being open, the mix of the character for the movie can mix up fuller and fuller and fuller and be virtually 100%. I mean, I think every movement he makes is the proper movement for that kind of character. The way he twitches his eyebrow is perfect. The way he uses his words, all of that would be perfect. Whereas somebody who's trying to create a character when they're already a character makes up stories, and we consider those not good actors. Okay, so to me, the ability of clearing so that a character will get mixed up fuller and fuller and fuller. Okay, so that's a tip I gave to Alan, who's interested in acting. I think we have another actor or two out there. I say, check it out. That's always been my sense. An actor is somebody who can clear. Right? I would be careful. If I'm an actor and I can act, I'd be careful there, because that you're setting up this existing body, if you would, that's hard pressed to get these other energies in there because you took up all the space. So clear that one. Clear that one. Okay. Getting close on time here. Now, qualities. You ready? Standing? Okay. So, talked a lot, thought a lot. Easy. Let's go back to settling or calmness. Sense of inner, finer, deeper, whatever. And there should be more clear. In some degree of an idea about it, of course. Again, down. Clearing. This clearing felt brighter and fuller. Okay. Now there are qualities. We all have more than one. One I brought up was kind of like your major. In Gina's case, that was her major. She loves that, being joyful and happy and having those butterflies, and she loves to go on stage in that set. And we also have, let me call it its partner. I'll explain why partners are important. So you had your main one, and that one has a partner, and the two of them together balance each other out better. I'll explain that more after a little while. So we're asking for so there's the first one, and the next one, the next favorite is its partner, let's say. So if you remember what your first one was, here's the second one. Okay, and it's here, and it mixes it through, creates, I say mixes, a new character. With that as like those two as like main essence of this character. Okay. Running out of time, so let's take a moment and somebody pick up the second one and second question. And if you remember your first one, tell me your second one, and we'll kind of see how they bounce back and forth. Somebody, second quality?
Sensei, this is Lauren. My first quality was breezy and carefree. My second quality was squared away.
Okay. Yeah, breezy and carefree. Now, where I want to go with this is if it's too much of a one quality, as nice as it is, a lot of people get off balance. So in this case, thank you, Lauren, because that's a good example from here. If you get very breezy and loose, you kind of know if that were overdone, that you wouldn't be dependable, or it'd be impossible for you to be married, whatever. too breezy, too loosey-goosey kind of thing. So the second partner comes in. What was the second one again? Squared away. So there's that overlay partnership of breezy but squared away. So it's a guy who's there, but he's also a little free in his there-ness. He's both of these. It makes a nice combination. Again, whereas just the one, as nice as it could be, could throw you off. That's why I want to go to balance real fast. Okay, because it's safer. So I make a joke about, oh, it's all loving, and the way I talk. Excuse me, I'm mouthy. I'm all loving, and then they go out and score the milkman, the mailman, and it's like it's too loving. It's gone overboard. There has to be some discrimination or something that partners up with that to keep that balance. And I have personally seen a person go off on that loving and just be off the wall with it, scared the shit out of her family with this love thing because it was too much and she went totally didn't have a balance. Another one, we have time for one more, somebody?
Well, it seems to me you're hitting right into the essence of Aikido, of blending, of taking whatever you start with and blending with your uke would be exactly what I'm hearing if you're talking about the two qualities.
Well, we could look at it that way, yeah.
Sensei Dave Flater, I
Yeah.
had presence. I started with presence, and then aliveness came in as his partner.
I'm sorry, I didn't quite hear. Say again.
Presence, and then aliveness came in as his partner.
Being very alive, being very present with your aliveness. I'm presently alive. Alive, I am present. Yeah, I like to double the words. I think that's a good trick. To double the words back, say them the other way around.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good trick. It really helps consolidate and fit things together better. So I think we're running out of time here. Again, we'll have questions. Yeah, somebody?
I just said thank you.
Oh, see if this makes sense now. I'll just say it and see if it fits in. OSensei said, I wasn't pure, but I could stand in purity. Now let's look at that statement in relation to what I'm trying to lay out. If I clear and the quality there is purity, I, the clear one, am not pure, but I can stand in it and it's there and it's oozing out and it can mix up a pure character if that's what he needs that day. Is that kind of, your true self is kind of like clear. And, but we get, this is a discussion for another day, we get a little confused with the qualities and the self. So I think OSensei clarified that quite well with that statement. I am not pure. I am self or soul or but there is purity here and I can stand in it, allow it, it's there. So in a certain way, I'm not, but it's there. And once I hook in with it, it's there. Does that almost make sense to you? I'm looking for more stories. I think I've covered most of them. A couple of things I wanted to get into, but I ran out of time. Possibly watch out in the human condition where we have likes, a bunch of different likes and a bunch of dislikes, okay? And when you clear, those things could slow you down or interfere. Wait a minute, I'm not going to open and be somebody else because I like who I am. Right? I'm a good guy. Leave me alone. I'm not going to do any process work. Why? I'm a good guy. Boom. if you really want to move on, you got to catch that. And the good guy trades himself in and clears so that the gooder guy can be there. Okay. The very, very good guy can be there. But if good guy doesn't trade in or clear, the very, very good guy ain't going to happen. Okay. Right. Not really, not actual. And I think I ate up the time. So we'll thank you very much for attending. We'll take 1 minute and then we'll have questions if you like. Okay, how are we doing tonight? Anything?
Well, your last comment reminded me back in the old days, you used to say, you got to put down the quart to pick up the half gallon.
Yeah. Fantastic stuff, huh? Yeah. Yeah, I would have liked to tonight have dealt more with the potential fears or misunderstandings that might exist in some people's systems in clearing, how they might be afraid of themselves, because that's all that's going to happen is yourself is going to happen. It just won't be the self that it won't be Bobby's self, it'll be Robert. And then if Robert lets go, it'll be Nadeau. That's where those dumb stories came from. So it's kind of sad when people are afraid to open and clear and let whatever mix, because whatever is you and it's your qualities, and the finer dimension, the finer settling and stuff, they get better and better. But at first people might have fear, and that's too bad. I'd like to help clarify that. But anyway, somebody? Question, problem, anything? Yes.
Well, I just wanted to say, I know you've said this a few times, but it somehow hit me differently, especially when you talked about OSensei, when you mentioned, he said, well, I'm not pure, but I can stand in purity.
Yeah.
To help me understand that, I don't have to figure out how to fix my worried self in order to, if it's an emergency, just be not worried for the situation, or whatever it is. You don't have to go do 5 years of therapy and, that you can access what the moment needs.
Yeah, if you play games with it, like, I don't know, a lesser example, walking and then seeing a big flight of stairs and just taking that moment to know, oh, I'm going to be a stair walker, settling, opening, trusting the energies to mix up. And you'll notice, if you really open and stuff, that you're hopping up those stairs, that there's spring in your step. It mixes up that. So if we fun around with these dumb little games, we get faster at it. We can go bigger at it. Yeah. So yeah, just play. Somebody.
Practice.
Yes. Play.
Since Sensei is Dave Flater again, how can we shift consciousness of people that fear is just more energy coming in? How can we, is there a way that you see we can suggest to people of along those lines? Does that make sense?
I missed the first part.
Well, the idea that when people go into fear, how can we expand the concept into a larger sphere that is only more energy coming in, and how to shift our relationship in that fashion? Does that make sense?
So you're talking about when the energies are moving in and somebody gets fearful about those energies moving in.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Well, Well, that's why I try to do these simple practices, these simple body ones with that first level of energy, where they feel how it works and how it pushes. I had you do a wind tunnel practice. I feel how it pushes and feel how far along it can carry you to where you start to get a little weird and erratic, to show you how it works and to try to show you a trick of how to settle with it, open to it, knowing it's going to mix up a better character. It doesn't want to push you, but if you're not open, it has to. It's just the way it works. So you do very simple things to introduce that concept so they can fun around with it a bit. Then it's up to them to deal with the more fearful sense of the energies and what are they really? Because it in itself, the energy is not fearful. Your reaction to it is fearful. The energy is saying something else about itself. I don't know how else to say that.
Get that.
Maybe the Westerners or somebody, some people believe that creation was created good and bad. And now they got a problem. I don't want to open up because I might be opening up the bad. I'm not a believer of that. The universe was created in twosies, which separated out and are playing games with each other. I call them he, she, yin, yang, up, down, in, out. I give them different names. But there's one force that's split into two to create. And those two are in harmony in their finer dimension. We're in a thicker dimension. We don't notice the harmony. We see a lot of disharmony. But if you can move into finer and finer and finer, there is harmony. When OSensei stood there, he was in such harmony, we couldn't get him. He'd tell you, doesn't matter how fast you are. You're not going to get me because in this harmony, it protects me. It works. He was trying to show us a true facts. Yeah. So I don't know. Do whatever you have to do in the first simple layouts to make this simple.
Thank
So
you.
I have no better answer at the moment. Sorry.
I like it. Thank you.
Hi, Sensei. It's Mike from New Zealand.
Hey.
Yeah, you said it a number of times in response to some of the questions we've had over the weeks. It does seem to be practice, practice, practice. We've got to we have to allow our students to spend a significant amount of time in the space that you're creating now. It's not just a quick thing to jump through and get onto the techniques. And yeah, I think with time, most people will get there.
Yeah. I used to purposely bounce them back and forth. So we do our techniques, and then we had benches in those days at my school, and I have them sit on the bench, and we practice fun around getting into a different dimension. And we go back on the mat and do our techniques. We begin to see a difference from sitting there doing something, settling or centering or moving into a different dimension. We do it diverse ways because certain ways are easier for some people than others. And then so they could experience the change in their technique. So it would be like, I don't know, 3 minutes of training, 3 minutes of sitting, back to 3 minutes of training. But I forget how we timed it. But yeah, to give them time to play with this stuff. Yeah. So that was my preference. I did a good job in the beginning, especially the earlier years. That it on that? And if the word practice is too scary a word for some people, I say play. Play these games. But they're real. But play them. Play at them. Play. Yeah. Try to take the pressure off. I've got to practice. Remember when you were a little kid, mommy made you practice the piano and you hate practice. So play. So whatever word that you need to facilitate this, use it.
Yes.
Somebody?
Yeah, sorry. Just thank you, Sensei. Yes, the idea of play, though, I think, is something that adults question whether they should be still doing, if you know what I mean.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. No, it's obvious. Uh, uh, even a little experience I've had with kids in Aikido. At a certain age, they're better at playing the games than the adults are. Adults are very leery of, I don't know, be a tree. Back in the day, I could get a kid to mimic, experience a tree where, whoa, it was, I mean, you could pick up little buggers. They were so heavy. But ask an adult to be a tree, and they're like, I can't do that. I'm an adult or something. So it's a weakness not being able to play, sense imagine. It's too bad. Sensei, well, I don't know if I want to say that. In its proper form, Sensei said, imagination is a very important tool. Careful if you're going to imagine. That's just one piece. Imagine, remember, it has a partner. So I'm leery of saying imagine because a lot of people are going to go crazy with imagining and they'll forget its partner, which is the stuff. That's really mind-body harmony. And I don't mean body. It's the whole body of creation, all the stuff of creation, if you would. But anyway, that ability of imagining and sensing things, very important, yeah, along with its partner. Somebody.
Thanks, Sensei.
Yeah.
We have a question about the pattern.
The pattern. Was that based on, I said something about the creation unfolded a certain way? Therefore, there's a pattern there that we're trying to follow. Are you referring to that?
That was, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, there's a certain way that creation laid out. Again, the he, she, whatever you want to call that, yin, yang, mind, body, whatever you want to call that. Okay. There are twosies. So at this tighter level that we're at, in Aikido, for example, we try to harmonize with our partner because that's part of the twosies relationship. So we say, if you're just going to get your partner and be stronger than them, that's not harmonious. We're trying to get you at this level to be a little bit better at this level where you begin to realize, oh my God, there's some kind of harmony here between me and my partner. Not a made up idea. I've got to see the relationship of those two bodies. I've got to see the actual experience of it, not just the idea. It's my joke is, hi, I want to train harmoniously. You fall for me and I'll fall for you, okay? To show we're training harmoniously. It's like, dear God, people. I'm talking about the actual harmony that includes the stuff of creation. So we're trying to follow the harmony thing back, even at our lesser level, because the creation is based on harmony. Okay? It's not angry with itself, unless you get it too tight down there. God knows. It's harmonious with itself. I tried to show you that when I did the two beats up and down. When you got a little familiar with a beat and a beat, then I said, okay, let's have this beat be male or whatever you want, and this beat be female, and the male female are talking to each other. And if they had allowed that to happen, they would have noticed that at first they might have been antagonistic towards each other. I don't trust you. Well, hell, I don't trust you either. But as we settle and open and let these beats, he and she, you should have noticed, or hopefully you would notice, we did a little bit longer, that they begin to talk nicer. Hi there. Is there anything you need? I'll supply it. No, dear, I seem to be okay at the moment. Thank you, though. That they start to really be aware of each other, care for each other, support each other, and they get really loving there, and in finer dimensions, really, really loving, intense, really magnetic towards each other, intense, full with each other. You're talking about a whole universe of he to she and she to he. It's wow. So that's based on the creation splitting off into twos, that within the twos, they have a sense of, they have a partner. They're looking for the partner. You let a wolf loose in the woods up here, and he'll scout around for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of miles trying to find another wolf. If a goddamn wolf can do it, hello? It's innate. It's innate in the whole system. This coming together, this harmony, that kind of thing. Yeah. Is that sort of okay?
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd have just lay out a bigger universal schematic, which we may try for one day, not right now, but that's a main basic of the one splitting off into two to have a creation, and how there are finer dimensions of that and heavier dimensions of that. And in the heavier, you might be hard pressed to see it as clearly as it is. Okay, that's why I bring up the animal ones, for example, to show you how it's even in the goddamn worm. Will probably look for another worm. It's inherent, this trying to come together, based on these two great forces wanting to come together. Because in a finer dimension, they are coming together. OSensei would call that some kind of harmony. And standing at that level, if you would, because that harmony is a fact and it's active, you couldn't touch him. You'd say, it doesn't matter how fast you are. You can't touch me. This harmony is here. It won't allow it. So not a philosophy idea, an actual experiential fact, what he was trying to get across. He was aware of the philosophy part. I mentioned this before, but he thought, a lot of guys are doing that, and there's a lot of misunderstandings with just the philosophy of this stuff. We wanted to show the fuller of the stuff more, and the harmony of the great idea, great stuff, or mind-body harmony, if you would. He was trying to show that. He wanted to do a fuller picture. And so he's trying to show, look at, this is true, this works, look at me. Look at you go down, I haven't done anything, kind of thing. He was trying to show this, that it was a fact. Yeah, somebody? Finishing up?
We might be there.
Kenny, we finishing up?
I think we're finished.
Okay. Thank you all for hanging out. Sorry tonight went by so fast as usual. A few things I wanted to cover more and I didn't get to it, my fault. Next week we'll see. We'll see. Thank you again. Take care. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you, Sensei.
Thank you.
Thanks, Sensei.